Welcome to the second round of the MOC Tour at the Skærbæk Fan Weekend 2023. We are now in the second hall, and as you can see behind us, people are getting up, having had their breakfast, and are now getting ready for the audience, which will be here in 35-40 minutes. So we'll see if we can make it in that time. First up, we have a credit card terminal and the Peach Pit. And then we have 5 years of Biff by Nico. And we have the Spirited Away train scene. Very, very well executed and recognizable by Niklas. There's the light rail train of Odense here in Denmark. And a look-through box. Yeah. Can we look through? And a collection of smaller models, cars, Etch-a-Sketch, and various iconic objects. I see an Atari. Colin built a low-altitude assault transport carrier, the LAATC. A battle station. And a Star Wars juggernaut. There are various takes on a well-known Lego Star Wars product, the Death Star. There's a Minecraft Death Star. We have a farming Death Star, which sounds nicer than the actual Death Star. And there's a Technic one that we'll come around to soon. And we have one in monocolors, which is named Everyone is Awesome Death Star. And here again is the Technic Death Star, having several of those nice Technic figures. Emil built a very army-crowded castle build with a beautiful white leaf tree in the middle in the courtyard. Bjørn has built Speed Champions. And there's a Deutsche Bahn train, which has a remote control, but I do not think that the kids are allowed to play given the pictograms with do not touch hands on them. Peter has built the Dead Man's Chest, this beautiful ship in the background, and some enormous constellations of rock, stone, octopus, natives, imperial soldiers. The Captain's Daughter's Inn, beautifully rounded plate and awesomely built house. And at the next table we are definitely moving into trains. Lots and lots of trains well executed. Very high level skill MOCs. And there's a train layout based on the Moduverse base plates or base builds with several contributors from Denmark. Very clean. I love it when the roads are built by bricks. Not that I have a dislike to road plates, but I appreciate it when they go the extra mile and actually build the roads. And here are some examples of how Moduverse is. And I'm sure that if you Google it, you can learn more if you want to join in. And we have a display being fixed. There's actual water here going, and there you go. The water is coming. It's being turned on just for us, I hope. And it's Joel and Jonathan who's built the Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean ride and the Wicked Wench. So much going on. Sorry to say that we can't catch it all passing by, but if you are somewhere where they exhibit, it's definitely worth a closer look. Adding real water is probably tricky, but it's done perfectly here. Now we're at the other side of the Moduverse train layout. And it's also nice to see how all the train tracks have been built into the model. Really gives a sleek and smooth surface. Must require a lot of bricks and even more require of time and space. And a few beautiful trains at the very, very end of the table. Over at the next table, we start out with Klaas, who's built a Swedish West Coast setting. And we have a leprechaun with a pot of gold. Maybe he is at the end of the rainbow. A Martian outpost by Miguel. Emma has built a Scala Spa. We have some cheese and a spider, kind of scary. And Klaus has built Círdan the Shipwright, the Great Haven's Lord of the Rings. Lots of white, beautiful build. The 5th anniversary of the Ferry Brick Cycling Team ride. Now in bricks by Bert Giesen. Some iconic airplanes. I see the Sopwith Camel and the Red Baron there. Anders Horvath built Yavin 4. A microscale Star Wars build. Leon has a Legend of Zelda Sandgalone. And a beautiful Tranquility MOC, named MOC by Alice Finch. And a statement on representation matters, where you can see the color distribution. Some Star Wars builds, not with goats, but with sheep. The Storm Sheep Machine by Bartholomew. Cas Mocket has built the Kepler 42D outpost. Lots of trans yellow going on there. Monochrome minifigure habitats. Nicely done. We have a safe place to go, which the minifigure seems to enjoy. There's some working Lego stamps. I assume that if you have the Lego passport, you could probably be allowed to do a stamp here if you want to. There's a Leonardo has built a Lego Nintendo Entertainment System and consoles. Stuff from my youth and something newer in the Switch. Joss has the Planet Series 1 through 4 displayed. A classic castle scene, the Dragon Masters. Another classic, a Dutch windmill, beautiful. We have the floating island of Yatir, Andreas, and house in Cedrica, and a mosaic behind. We move into a little bit of water with canal houses and the oyster port of Arakan. And more Star Wars with a Republic outpost. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And Mel says, giving us the Lord of the Rings, the Grey Havens, Star Wars, the Battle on Ruusan, and a winter setting medieval watchtower. A fairy tale, working fairy tale theater where you could play your Little Red Riding Hood story. And at the end we have Bumblebee and Starscream. Annemette Vestergaard has built a beautiful dancing Shiva, and one can only appreciate all the pearl gold elements that she had to source for it. That's a lot of treasure chests that has to go into a build like this. Another technical, beautiful build from her. We have the backside of a larger diorama that we will see from the other side, but there are things going on here that you can't see from the outside or from the other side, so we'll just pan through and enjoy those. Roland van der Walle has the 1992 original Efteling Hotel. And here's one that I remember from my childhood, the Brio Hammer Bench by Oskar Rydhøj from Sweden. And Indiana Jones scene. It's been a while since we've seen one of those, but that's cool. And Marcin has a Mercedes Actros Titan. Lots of pneumatics going on there and chrome parts. Again, bring back chrome. And we have a train station. And the station itself is slightly blocking the view for what's going on inside the station. Do we have a way in? Or we will have to cover that in some pictures, maybe. Luckily, there's a beautiful front where we can see more. Traffic coming in. There's a car being towed, probably for parking in the wrong place. And we do a little helicopter view with our now drone camera. And it goes back down. There you go. The Winter Wonderland Train Street. Martin Marmet. Again, I apologize if I say names or model names wrong. I try my best. There's even a smaller train there. The Homecoming of the Vikings. Another Viking build. We had a longhouse earlier, and this is a beautiful display, adding a lot more. And they are fighting the Midgård worm as well. The Muppet Show. With the grumpy old men on the side. And you have Paddy's Bar. The Land Raider from Judge Dredd. We are at the other side of the Efteling Hotel. And we move back into the other side of the Narnia display, where we have all the characters. We have the lion, we have the Ice Queen, And at the end we have Lasse, who's built the Jesus walking on the water. And there's a Mexican build up here that I think we missed when we started the tour. It's the Mexican art house. We'll just have a quick look at it before we move to the next table. Yep. So many cool MOCs, so little time, but we do our best. Tom Pelicom built another Viking diorama. This one a little bit. It has longhouses, Viking boats, smiley Vikings, and we get a glimpse of Viking life, where they are also farming, having cows. Not everything was pillaging and plundering. Dario, and Gianluca built us a beautiful pirate display with a lot of things going on, lots of pirate ships, Imperials. The Kraken is taking apart a ship in the middle. I really like how the water is done. Adding different colors of trans element gives a nice and busy surface. We have the Octon Factory. Good old Octon. Super Brick Brothers truck. And again, roads are brick built. And everything is Octon themed in the Octon colors of white, red, and green. We have the community built. Let's see, I need to go check out. It's the community built by Brick and Tears. I hope I said that right. It's a rather large build. Therefore, you can see that it must have taken several people to join in together to do it. It's an apocalypse-style building. Some 20 members of Brick and Tears helped build an apocalypse scenery after the big blast. Rick Hardeman built a model named Rick. Guess something might have gone. It could be Rick Zoo, I guess, as the smaller sign says that. So we have the entrance in front. We have the office, the bakery or cantina, and then we move to the zoo itself with lots of visitors and animals being carefully handled by the zookeepers. Danny Van Ree has brought his collection of trains. And there's a mosaic. The 7 Potters. And we're at the back of the Octon Factory, which is colored in the Octon colors all the way through. There's a transport shuttle. And we have the other side, I wouldn't say the back, but the other side of the rather large pirate diorama on display here. And the other side of the Viking village, where you can see the farmhold they have. No goats, plenty of sheep and pigs. And this is the model of Briksø. It's Norway in a nutshell. It's built by Sven from Germany. And you can see the lutefisk next to the lighthouse. Ina and Emil has brought us a zoo. And Jonas from Sweden has the buildings in Baka. And houses in Baka and the Icelandic temple in Baka. Lots of things going on. motorcycle. And Chris Van Reen has built Q-Bird, for those of us who remember and appreciate Q-Bird. There's a Balrog of Moria, beautifully executed by Stefan Ekman. Martin has the battle scene on Pandora. Very colorful, beautiful setup. Various shapes, forms, and geometries. David Tabner has built an English castle keep for us. Oliver Lafayette has the trees of souls, another avatar scene. Lots of colors, very busy. Super, super well done. Job has a model here named Levels 01. Grayscale. A futuristic tree house. I would like a house like that sometime. Though I'm a little nervous about getting to the house if that ladder is the only way getting there. A fictional Star Wars battle with pretty awesome light effects. You've got lightsabers going on, you got blaster shots all over the place. Thank God it isn't stormtroopers, because they wouldn't be able to hit anything. It's a Lego automaton setup. Oh, here we go. Some of the automatons are now turned on, so we can actually see them move as we pass by. These are really nice. I love the guy riding the ostrich. Magnus has built Castonian 2, the medieval farm. Eric has a model with lots of foliage and beautiful build going on that's named The Little Cottage at Cypress Brook. We're at the other side of the Baca buildings and the zoo from earlier, and as we pass along, we'll pass the other side of the big sea. Typical Norway build. Not so sure it's typical that they have Vikings in Norway still, but we'll take it. Blown up classic space, LL 2018. A stunt show, monster trucks, an AT-BT Jan built for us. A train station from Victor. A well done steamboat by Vasek. And Hagebakkeskoven, classic story, at least for Scandinavians, with all the animals in the forest battling the fox. A Blacktron base, nice to see some more space. And the Black Falcon Watchtower by Tommy Pedersen. And my very first Lego train in different sizes and scales. Really gets you in the nostalgic mood. Carly has built a day in Fabuland. Fabuland is going strong this year. Jesper has his massive collection of business cards and minifigures. Must have taken ages to collect and swap and trade. This is Skærbæk Kilt by Megan Lum. The water reservoir from Örebro in Sweden. The mushroom. Some Tintin's reference marks, like a spaceship. Really well done. There's a modular Christmas vignette, I guess you'd say. A medieval town festival by Johannes. Maria has built a Duplo hospital. I believe this is the first Duplo MOC we've seen. Eric has a blown-up version of Laval from Legends of Chima. Calling City, appreciate it. I live there. Thank you. And Manu Peen, which is a tour boat on the Danish island of Manu, so you can actually get a ride in the real world. Platonic Solids, Dieter Giske. An underground Star Wars base. Tales of a galaxy far, far away. 91 years of play. Iterations of classic sets throughout the time as briquettes, it seems. Purple Cars. The Beauty and the Beast MOCs. Gandalf arrives, which is easier to see on the other side. Here he is, arriving with fireworks and fun. And the Black Falcon's Rock Fortress. And over here we have a XXL Friends MOC, Mia with fence, white fence behind her, and her cat, an XXL. Nick Larsen has built Mega City. That's quite massive and must be problematic at best to transport, I guess, unless it's very modular. We have Eva Svartkut, who's built Hogwarts. 75,000 elements to do all these. And at the end of this table we have a Lego museum displaying sets, products, and various things throughout the years of Lego history. All the way back to the wooden bricks and my favorite, the Yellow Castle. Now we'll swing around and go and see all the mosaics at the very end of the hall. One can only appreciate the time and effort that goes into creating these beautiful mosaics and sourcing all the elements and all the different color variations to be able to then put them together, and it becomes a picture. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have much skill at this. Therefore, I can really appreciate the efforts and techniques that people are going through. Some are using flat tiles, some are using plates, and some plates are studs up and some are not studs up. And that's quite interesting. And Lucky Luke, easily recognizable. That's Manu Katje, a drummer, for those who didn't instantly recognize it. And we have a Rainbow Heart and Clutch Power, as the other one is named, where you can see the shadow of a minifig hand. Yeah, Clever and Smart, I remember those. Read a lot of those comics when I was a kid. Spaceman. And CLV brought a rather large mosaic to the show. I don't know if it's possible for us to move as far back as we can to see as much of it as possible. Yeah? Perfect. And at the very end we have an Einstein mosaic, and I don't know if we can catch this on the video, but it's actually textured so that it's not flat, completely flat, but it actually moves up and about 3 or 4 plate levels to give that little added effect. There's a floating Winter Wonderland. I wish I had the space at home to display a Wonderland this size. I have a few of the sets, but it's hard to find enough space given everything else you have for Christmas. minifigure dioramas by Christina, the Disney Princess Tower. And this is nice. This is another world, a secret and forgotten world hidden inside a suitcase. That's quite geniusly well done. Japan-themed dioramas. Haunted house, Lena built. Some scenarios by Michael from The Lord of the Rings. Hobbiton. Kate Bush running up that hill, tape. And Karina built Stranger Things, Dear Billy. And along with Brian, she also built a great excavation. Clever. The Last Christmas Tree. The Soldier and the Pirate. And we have a display of pirate memorabilia. And we'll do another drone view. I see some 3D printed things there. Nice. Kathy has brought a wonderful world winter display for us that moves into spring, it seems. And we have Duplo mixed in with system here. It's building site in the neighborhood. And Gordon Finlay has a minifig scale falling water house. Awesome. And Jürgen Kropp has the Taj Mahal with the park. Build up of a log cabin by Eric. Church. And versions of Lego Master Builds. Peter Just Jensen. Character builds. I like the mosquito drinking blood. There's a bow tie collection. One might ask why. Well, because bow ties are cool. There's an LL940 grid controller by Søren Johansen, and he also built the Purple Waves. LL950 two-man patroller as well. And we have a model named Asura. Lots of elements. Small train working hard to move around the track. There you go. Here she comes. Hoot hoot. Mario Kart. Very recognizable scene. And Michael wraps it up with the Ring Church in Wiesbaden. And that concludes the second MOC Tour here at the Skærbæk Fan Weekend. And it's perfect timing, as we can see visitors are coming in now. We hope you enjoyed. And if you feel like you're a bit missing out on seeing all the MOCs in real life, you should definitely come next year and enjoy everything.